So I wanted to put together this presentation on apathy to action, right? So essentially, apathy is, like when you're hesitant about making the next step, whether like it's your dreams, your passion, like jumping out and, starting a business, like ignoring the safety nets and like the warning signs and just, being strong, prophetic kings and queens. So my background, I'm Jordan Muthra. I'm from Montego Bay, Jamaica, which is a small island in the Caribbean, but we're big globally, So I'm the founder of Island Stream, which is a startup. It initially started during my education at the New School in grad school, which it was a capstone project. And after the New School, I jumped into like a job like is recommended of us, I'm serious. It's quite taxing, right? So I did that for about a year. I had longer hair. I pulled my hair out. I went to Africa, shot a documentary to explore the black identity and like what it means for the East Africa, West Africa, and the Caribbean, which is still being produced at the moment. And I started a production company, or an LLC, started freelancing so I can invoice the company, tax incentives, how it is. Because realistically, like when you go into a full-time job, it takes your energy, and you have like X amount of energy from like, when you finish school until 38, 39, so. No, and then you have wisdom. You trade energy for wisdom. Smart work, Smart work, so. Essentially, the startup is Island Stream, which is a mobile distribution platform and curation tool that focuses on African and Caribbean content. I started this project, when I was at the New School. I was doing market research on like the Caribbean creative industries worldwide, and what I found was that the data was inconclusive. And like I sat down with VP Records. And, being that I'm from Jamaica, reggae music is like very popular. So I sat down with the label, and they told me that they were largely focused on physical distribution at a time when streaming was proliferating at like an exponential rate annually, and is still on an incline. So when you lack competition, you lack innovation. You can see this with like, the BlackBerry and the iPhone. BlackBerry didn't take heed to the iPhone, and they lost their 62% market share in a matter of 1 year. So this I'm currently working on. But like when you have a startup, like you also have to eat, right? Like, I don't believe in starving artists. I believe in like, monetizing your intellectual property and knowing your worth. You know what I mean? So, which brings me to the business, right? So, VZN, which is the company. This is a shot from Jamaica, Dr. Knife. I've been fortunate to be connected with a lot of like PhD, people that challenge the status quo. So he's a Rastafarian. I shot some of this in Ethiopia. But in the freelance world, like it's an adventure, right? Like new projects, like your own hours, but sometimes the hours dictate you. So I've been fortunate this year to work on Moment Factory's SuperReal, which is currently downtown. It's an augmented reality experience. One of the largest interior productions ever done in New York, and it's interactive, fully interactive. And I'll get you guys tickets if you're interested. It's on exhibit until the end of the month. And, I'm speaking of music and the future of music and everything, like I'm doing this hologram tour coming up with Buddy Holly and Roy Orbison and Whitney Houston, European tour coming up. Pardon? Oh, thank you. And so this year, like with gigs and everything, you have to network and level up. So I did a few stuff this year, like the Met Gala, was the lead projectionist. I did Ken Burns' event. Been in and out of like every museum in New York. Invoicing, like not not for free. So, the master key for me was like, just, figuring out what I wanted and putting it into the universe, and then allowing the path that was already paved in front of me to be more visible, So, the laws of attraction, remember magnetism, especially a room like this. This is a magnetic room. And shout outs to Afrotectopia for organizing such a momentous day and weekend. Trust the process. Like the journey's never like easy, and if it is easy, it's not worth it, right? Like, embrace the potholes and embrace, like, the deviations, but just stay focused on the end goal. Trust the process. And stay ready for opportunity. Don't wait for the opportunity to get ready. If you stay ready and the opportunity comes, you will seize and make the most of it. So, and I definitely recommend that. The safety net isn't real, as I said, so just jump, Jump, like, literally, don't question yourself, just jump. And learn in the process of jumping. And while you learn, level up. Get opportunities and level up. Networking, read the room, like a room like this, a lot of talented, inspirational people. And that message from the future, I'm still, and remember to be humble. Or express humility and gratitude for like any opportunity, and don't just be someone that's trying to get something and not give something in return. Always think about the mutual benefit and how the room sees you and people in the room see you and how they see themselves. So it's always good to have that. Specialize. Figure out like what is needed and like leverage differentiators. Be malleable. Like if you studied one thing, but like there's something else growing that's not necessarily in your field, but you can do it, that could be an angle to get to what you really want to do. Avoid saturation, like altogether. Why compete in something that is not necessary to compete in? Control the narrative through infrastructure and IP. We're the drivers of culture and intellectual property, and we need to leverage that value, So I'm Jordan Muthra. Thank you for, listening. You can find me here. And we have an event in the gallery. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, all right. For the tickets to the immersive experience, if you guys all take a picture right now and, like, at me, I'll DM you a code. And you can go there for free. No, I'm like serious. I'm like dead serious. Okay, get the pose, and during the pose, I'll let you guys know that at the end of the month, in collaboration with Movers and Shakers, we will be projection mapping on the Brooklyn Museum for the nights leading up, and we're highlighting different public figures in the Caribbean and African community, and we're doing an anti-ICE. Because, as like immigrants, we're affected by immigration and ICE and everything. So we're going to have virtual monuments, and, we're going to facilitate discussions. And please come to this gallery. So on 321 Canal till the end of the month. We have art, projections, and music, and we'll be having a live performance with Steel Pan on Friday, the 23rd. So please reach out. Thank you. I know I'm over time.